Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and before we unpack the roller coaster of events that made headlines today, make sure you hit that subscribe button and share this video so we can keep you in the loop with every breaking story. Today has been one of those days in South Africa where tragedy, justice, and crime all collided in a whirlwind of news that kept the entire nation talking. From a shocking killing in Soweto to an unusual courtroom drama involving a baby shark, and finally, a major police breakthrough in catching suspects accused of murdering law enforcement officers, this was truly the day that was. We begin in Soweto, where tragedy struck when an Uber driver was shot and killed in what authorities are calling a targeted attack. Witnesses say the incident unfolded in broad daylight, shocking residents and leaving a busy street frozen in fear. The victim, a well-known driver in the area, was reportedly waiting for a passenger when gunmen approached his vehicle and opened fire without warning. Bystanders say they heard multiple gunshots before the attackers fled in a getaway car. Emergency services arrived quickly, but sadly, the man was pronounced dead at the scene. This isn't just another crime statistic. Residents are saying this killing has left them rattled because it reflects a growing danger faced by ride-hailing drivers in high-crime areas. Many drivers have previously raised concerns about hijackings, robberies, and violent attacks while on duty. In this case, the motive is still unclear. Was it a robbery gone wrong? A personal grudge? Or part of a larger criminal pattern targeting e-hailing operators? Police have opened an investigation, and while they're appealing to the public for information, the fear among drivers is already spreading. Several Uber and Bolt operators in Soweto have reportedly decided to park their cars for the time being, saying it's simply not worth risking their lives for a fare. While that tragedy grips Soweto, an entirely different kind of story unfolded in the courts, one that has been bizarre, emotional, and surprisingly fierce for months. A heated legal battle over custody of a baby shark has finally come to an end. Yes, you heard that right, a baby shark. The unusual case began when environmental activists accused a private aquarium operator of unlawfully keeping the animal after rescuing it from the wild. On the other side, the aquarium claimed it had been caring for the shark in proper conditions and that removing it could endanger its life. What started as a conservation dispute quickly spiraled into a courtroom drama, with marine experts, lawyers, and even animal rights organizations weighing in. The custody hearing saw scientific evidence presented about the shark's health, its chances of survival in the ocean, and whether it had become too dependent on human care. Finally, the court ruled in favor of returning the shark to a protected marine sanctuary, where it will be monitored before any decision is made about releasing it into the wild. The verdict has been celebrated by conservationists, who argue that wild animals should remain in their natural habitats whenever possible. But the aquarium's management says they are heartbroken and believe the shark may not survive without their care. Social media has been buzzing with opinions, with some users joking about baby shark doo-doo-doo, while others stress that the case highlights serious issues about wildlife exploitation and legal loopholes in animal protection. But perhaps the biggest story to emerge from today's news cycle was the announcement by police that several suspects accused of killing law enforcement officers have been arrested. This breakthrough came after weeks of intense manhunts, with police deploying specialized tactical teams to track down those responsible for two recent murders of officers. According to authorities, the suspects were located through a combination of intelligence gathering, community tips, and covert surveillance operations. The arrest took place during early morning raids, and officials say they also recovered firearms believed to have been used in the killings. The murders of police officers are always a deeply personal blow to the SAPS, and today's arrests are being hailed as a victory in the fight against those who target the very people tasked with protecting the nation. National Police Commissioner General Fanny Masemola released a statement praising the swift work of the teams involved and promising that these suspects will face the full might of the law. For many South Africans, this news brought a sense of relief, especially for communities that have been living under the shadow of violent crime. But it also reignited an uncomfortable conversation, Why are so many criminals willing to take on the police with such brazen violence, and what does it say about the state of law and order in the country? Each of these three stories paints a different picture of South Africa today. The Soweto Uber driver's killing speaks to the daily dangers that ordinary working people face just to earn a living. It's a reminder that crime is not an abstract statistic but a harsh reality that strikes without warning, leaving families shattered and communities on edge. The Baby Shark court battle might seem quirky at first glance, but it reveals the passion, and sometimes absurdity, of human intervention in nature, raising important questions about how far we should go to protect wildlife and when our involvement crosses the line. And the arrest of cop killers bring both hope and hard truth, hope that justice will prevail, but also a stark reminder that policing in South Africa has become increasingly dangerous work. It's days like this that show just how diverse, unpredictable, and intense the news can be. In a matter of hours, we've gone from a senseless killing on the streets of Soweto, to a courtroom showdown over a marine animal, to a dramatic police victory against violent criminals. These aren't just isolated stories, they are threads in the complex tapestry of South African life, where tragedy, controversy, and triumph often exist side by side in the same breath. And so, as the sun sets on this turbulent day, South Africans are left processing a whirlwind of emotions: grief for a man whose life was cut short while trying to earn an honest living, satisfaction for a small creature whose fate will now play out in the open ocean rather than behind glass, and cautious optimism that some of the most dangerous criminals in the country will now face justice. The day that was may be over, but the ripples of its events will be felt for a long time to come.